What if I told you that grief can be both the weight that breaks your back and the wings that help you rise? I know, it sounds impossible, maybe even a little offensive at first, especially when your world has been turned upside down by the loss of someone you've loved for what feels like forever. Waking up in the same bed, but suddenly feeling like a stranger in your own life. Walking past their favorite chair and half expecting them to be sitting there, smiling like they used to. These moments aren't just painful, they're surreal. As if time stopped but forgot to tell the rest of the world. Losing a partner after decades of shared memories is not something anyone can truly prepare for. And if you're over 60, it's even harder. You're not just grieving the person, you're grieving the routines, the little habits, the shared jokes, the comfort of having someone who got you. And while everyone around you might mean well, sometimes the world seems to expect you to move on, as if that were even possible. But here's the truth. Staying positive and emotionally strong doesn't mean pretending you're okay. It doesn't mean replacing what you've lost. It means learning how to carry the grief and still find light, peace, even joy on your own terms. So today, I want to have a heart-to-heart with you. We're going to talk about how to heal after losing a partner, not by forgetting, but by remembering in a way that helps you live fully again. I'll share 6 deeply healing, practical ways to stay positive and emotionally strong, no matter how broken you may feel right now. These aren't quick fixes or fluffy advice. These are real, tested ways that can help bring color back into your days, even if they start in shades of gray. Let's start with the first, one of the most powerful. Ways to start healing is by allowing yourself to fully feel what you're feeling. And yes, that might sound obvious, but you'd be surprised how many of us try to push the pain down, to act brave, to keep it all together. Maybe we do it for our kids, maybe for our friends, or maybe just to survive. But the truth is, the only way through grief is through it, not around it, not beneath it, through. And it's not about crying all day, though crying is healthy. It's about acknowledging your emotional truth, moment by moment. Maybe today you feel angry. Maybe tomorrow you feel numb. Maybe next week you're laughing at a memory and then suddenly feel guilty for smiling. That's grief. It's messy. It's unpredictable. And it's human. Give yourself permission to feel without judgment. Light a candle in the evening and talk to your partner. Write them a letter. Sit with their photo and let the tears fall. Or don't. Maybe your way of feeling is to walk in the park alone, listening to the breeze and noticing the trees. Whatever your way is, honor it. And while you're doing that, don't forget to breathe. Deep, slow breaths, especially when the wave of sadness comes. You'll notice that when you breathe with intention, even grief feels a little less sharp, a little less terrifying. The second thing that can change everything is finding ways to reconnect with yourself and with the world. After losing a partner, it's easy to feel like you've lost a part of your identity. Who are you now without them? But here's something worth holding on to. You were a whole person before them, and you are still a whole person now. This is the time, maybe, for the first time in a long time, to explore what brings you joy. Maybe it's something you've always loved, but stopped doing. Maybe it's something brand new that's always intrigued you, but felt out of reach. It doesn't have to be something dramatic. A neighbor of mine, Marlene, started painting after her husband passed. Not because she wanted to become an artist, but because it made her feel calm. Another man I know, Robert, began volunteering at an animal shelter. He said caring for those little creatures gave his heart somewhere to go. When it felt too heavy. RECONNECTION isn't about distraction. It's about rediscovering meaning. Your life still matters. Your joy still matters. And believe it or not, your future can still hold beauty, even if it looks different from what you imagined. And that brings us to the third point, which is something many people resist at first letting others in. It's tempting to isolate yourself when you're grieving. Sometimes it just feels easier. You don't want to burden anyone. You don't want to explain yourself. You don't want to hear well-meaning but clumsy words like, "they're in a better place," when all you want is for them to be back here with you. But loneliness can be just as dangerous as grief. Even if it feels safe, it slowly wears down your spirit. And the only antidote is connection. That doesn't mean you have to jump into busy social circles or pretend to be cheerful when you're not ready. It means reaching out, even a little. A phone call to a friend, joining a small support group, even online, going to the community center for a coffee morning. Just sitting and listening can be enough. You don't have to say much. You don't have to be okay. You just have to show up. And when you do, you'll start to realize you're not as alone as you feel. There are others who understand, others who are walking a similar path. And sometimes being seen and heard, even in silence, can begin to soften the hardest pain. Let's pause here for now. Take a breath. Let these thoughts settle in. Because healing doesn't come in a flood, it comes in ripples. And just being here, listening, is already a step forward. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the silence in the house or the empty side of the bed. It's the quiet moments when you wonder, will I ever feel like me again? And the honest answer is, not exactly. But that doesn't mean you're lost. It means you're becoming something new, someone who carries love and loss together in the same heart dot. Now that we've talked about letting yourself feel, reconnecting with yourself, and gently allowing others in, there's another step that often surprises people with how healing it can be. It's creating small routines that give your days structure and comfort. I know it may not sound groundbreaking, but in the aftermath of deep loss, even simple routines can anchor you. You see, when someone you love dies, time changes. Days feel longer, sometimes blurry. The things that used to keep you grounded, shared meals, evening walks, daily chats, are suddenly gone. And without realizing it, life can start to feel shapeless. That's why creating a gentle rhythm to your day can be so powerful. I'm not talking about rigid schedules. I mean small, comforting habits. Maybe it's having your coffee at the same sunny spot each morning while listening to soft music. Maybe it's going for a short walk every afternoon, even if it's just around the block. Maybe it's journaling for 10 minutes before bed, writing anything that comes to mind. Even, "I don't know what to say today," is perfectly fine. These little routines give your mind and body something to hold on to. They provide a quiet sense of purpose. And on days when the emotions feel too heavy to handle, having something familiar, something yours, can be like a thread that gently pulls you forward. And let me say this, it's okay if you forget or skip a day. This isn't about perfection. It's about kindness to yourself. Gentle steps. That's how healing happens. Now, while we're speaking of kindness, there's something else that might feel strange to do after a loss, but it's incredibly important. Finding ways to laugh and experience joy without guilt. And I really want you to hear me on this without guilt. Grief sometimes comes with this strange, unspoken rule, like if you're seen smiling too soon or laughing at something silly on TV, it means you didn't love them enough. That somehow joy is a betrayal. But that's not true. You're not dishonoring their memory by finding moments of light. You're honoring the life you shared. Think about it. Wouldn't they want you to smile again? Wouldn't they want you to keep living, not just breathing, but living? Start with the little things. Watch a funny movie you both enjoyed. Call a grandchild and listen to their wild stories. Get out into nature and really notice the world, the birds, the wind, the feeling. of sun on your face. These moments may be fleeting at first, but they matter. They're your soul remembering that it's still here, still capable of beauty. One woman I spoke to, her name was Judith, told me something I'll never forget. Her husband passed after 47 years together, and she said, "For the first 6 months, I didn't think I'd ever laugh again. But then one day, my dog slipped on the kitchen floor chasing his toy, and I laughed out loud, and it scared me. I thought, am I allowed to laugh? But then I thought of my husband's laugh, and I knew I had to keep laughing for the both of us. Isn't that beautiful? Grief and joy don't cancel each other out. They can live side by side, just like memories and new beginnings can. And sometimes, allowing yourself a moment of laughter is like opening a window in a stuffy room. Suddenly, you can breathe again. And speaking of breathing, that leads to another kind of healing, taking care of your body while your heart is healing. When you're grieving, it's easy to ignore your physical needs. You forget to eat, or you eat too much. You don't sleep well. You stop moving your body. It's understandable. You're exhausted, emotionally and physically. But your body needs care, now more than ever. Even small actions can have a big impact. Make sure you're drinking enough water. Try to include some fresh fruit or vegetables each day, not because it's trendy, but because your body needs nourishment to help your mind recover. Stretch in the morning. Take short walks. Let the sun touch your skin. Movement and good nutrition don't just support your health, they help shift the fog of grief. They bring you back to the present moment, into your body. It doesn't have to be anything intense. Even sitting outside with your feet in the grass can be healing. There's a gentle strength that comes from caring for yourself, even when it's hard. It's like telling your heart, you still matter. I still love you. We're going to get through this. So let's pause for a moment. Breathe. Let all of this settle in. You've already come this far, and that says so much about your strength, even if you don't feel strong yet. This journey isn't about fixing or forgetting. It's about gently becoming someone who can carry the love and the pain and still keep walking toward the light. You know, people often say, time heals all wounds, but that's only half the truth. Time alone doesn't heal. It's what you do with the time that brings healing. The gentle choices you make each day, the courage to feel your feelings, the effort to show up for yourself, even when your heart is heavy. That's what begins to mend the pieces. There's one more deeply powerful way to keep moving forward after losing your partner, and it's something you carry inside you, whether you realize it or not. It's meaning. Finding meaning in your life after loss doesn't mean everything makes sense or that the pain disappears. It means discovering a new reason to wake up each morning, a new way to bring value to your days, even if it's quiet, even if it's small. For some, meaning comes through legacy carrying on something your partner loved, or sharing their story with the next generation. Maybe it's teaching the grandkids how to make your partner's favorite dish. Maybe it's donating to a cause they cared about. Or maybe it's something as simple as lighting a candle every evening and whispering, "Thank you for the years you had together." For others, meaning grows from helping someone else. When you've lived through deep sorrow, you hold a kind of wisdom that others need. You might find comfort in talking to someone else who's grieving, or joining a group where your presence gives someone else the courage to keep going. You don't need grand gestures. Sometimes just showing up with a listening heart is enough to change someone's life and yours, too. And meaning can also come from choosing to live in honor of the love you lost. Your partner shaped you. They're part of who you are. And continuing your journey is not leaving them behind, it's carrying them forward. Every smile you offer, every kind word, every step you take toward healing, it's all a way of saying, your love still lives here, in me, Now, as we come to the close of this conversation, I want to take a moment to remind you of something important. Healing isn't a destination, it's a practice. Some days will feel easier, others harder. That's okay. You don't have to be perfect, and you don't have to be strong all the time. But here's what you can do. You can be gentle with yourself. You can feel deeply and still find light. You can rediscover parts of yourself you thought were lost. You can make space for joy, laughter, love again. Not because you're moving on, but because you're moving forward. And that's a very different thing. Let's take a breath together right now. In and out. Let that be a reminder that you're still here, still breathing, still capable of growth, connection, and even happiness. So just to gently wrap up everything we've talked about, allow yourself to feel whatever you feel without guilt. Reconnect with yourself and the world around you. Let others in even, just a little. Create small daily routines that bring comfort. Give yourself permission to laugh and find joy again. Take care of your body like it matters, because it does. And finally, seek meaning in your gaze, no matter how quiet or simple that meaning may be. These steps won't erase your grief, but they can soften it. They can help you find a new balance between sorrow and hope. And in that space, healing begins. I'd love to hear from you. If you feel comfortable, share in the comments. Tell me something that's helped you cope, or simply say hello. You never know who you might be helping with your words. And if this video touched you, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I share more videos like this one to support and uplift you on your journey. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are still deeply valuable. And even though the road ahead might look different, it still holds beauty, connection, and purpose. So, keep walking one step at a time. And remember, your story is still unfolding, and there's still so much worth living for. Take care of yourself. You're doing better than you think.